Trey, four, 7-11, the deuce, and the nine. Hoover, hey, people. One second. All right. Hoover, hey, people. Look here, man. We're partaking in another episode of Touching Bases with the People, man. I appreciate being here, being able to do this with you guys, and I hope that you guys appreciate this as much as I do. Um, let me hit you with this, man. Two things, man. First, like, share, comment, and most definitely subscribe, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? What we kicking, man, I think is subscribe worthy. You know what I mean? That said, the second thing, man, I want to send a shout out, man, to the home queen, Stacy Gilbert, man. She's not feeling well right now. She's not, in the best of health. We would like for her to know that she's in our thoughts and our prayers, man. And hopefully, what I mean, some type of miracle or whatever can help, bring her back to positive health, man, health and good spirits. Stacy, we love you. You've always been a good home girl, home queen to me from way back when. I can remember coming home from prison and coming to visit you, man, and wanting to go through your photos, because Stacy got all the pictures. She got all the photos, everybody since they were kids. Uh, so she'll bring the box of photos out, and I'll be like, okay, going through the photo. I'm like, damn, you got this. Let me get this picture here. You know, I'm going through the picture, Bubba. You're not leaving with no pictures. Like, damn, Lord, let me take them and get some copies made or something. You're not leaving with no pictures. So I'm sitting here waiting for her to have to go to the bathroom or go to the kitchen, get something to eat. She sat there with me the whole time, man. She was serious about not letting me get any of those pictures, man. But that's just one of the that's one fond memory I have of her, man. She was always a good home queen, man. Love her to death, man. And you guys, man, that know her, that love her as well, man. You know, your thoughts, man. Put them in the atmosphere, man. Put your prayers out there in the whole nine, man. We love you, Stacy. All right. That said, man. So I've been sitting up, man. When I come on to get down, man, to live, man, I come to just touch bases with the people, man. Real spit. I'm not looking to you know, honestly, man, I don't sit up and worry about, content like that. You know what I mean? I know how to put some shit together, whatnot. But when I come on the live stream, and especially because I'm new at doing this, I just come in to, tap in with the people, touch bases with the people. And for the most part, man, you guys that come in the comments, man, you are the content, you are the topic. You know what I mean? So I respect that and I appreciate that a great deal. All right, MH. She's sending her prayers out to Stacy, man. Much love. Yeah, man. SB. He said, my big bro, Hoover Poo, wanted me to tap in with y'all. He in the feds in Victorville and wanted to tap in with y'all. Okay, man. Hey, I love and respect the Hoover Pool, man. And thank you, SB, for tapping in with us, man. Stay in the comments, man. If it's something in this conversation that lights, light a light under you, a fire under you, man, come in the comments respectfully, man. Let's talk about it. Um, there were a few things I wanted to get at, man. One in particular, I'll say for last, man, because it's going down, man, and I hate to think that we, us, here in America, you know, are not on board. You know what I mean? Or there's a possibility we would not be on the right side of history, man, as history is being made. And that would be such a disservice, man, to the diaspora. Because, we, like a lot of other people, are people all over the world. We have a story to tell. We done been through some shit just like everybody else with these people. But that said, um, there's a quote that was sent to me last week, and I didn't get a chance to read it, man. It came to me, and I looked over it for the last couple of days, and it's kind of tight, man. I like it, man. I appreciate having it. But the quote goes: "We have the power to transmute generational wounds into generational wisdom. This transmutation is true alchemy." So for those that understand that, man, it's some powerful shit. But that was some powerful shit to be said. Spoken on. We don't have to necessarily Dude, did you do that? No, my screen is dark. Okay, there you go. No, I just got a call in. Just somebody. Stuff. Damn, man. Anyway, all right, we're gonna let that bug me. Hey, boy, I tell you. Okay, look, man. We have. Oh, you know what? This is a good look. This is a good look. Hold on, people. I got a call. I got Clarence Hoover calling me right now. Hold on. Might get him on to get down with us. Hey, OG, how you doing?
Oh man, I got some great news for you.
Okay, hey, right. Hold on. Let me stop you. I'm doing it live right now. So you if you want, you could be on this conversation. It's live. I'm streaming live right now.
Oh, okay. Well, what's the conversation?
Oh, and it's just some general shit. I love talking to the people, man, about everyday life, man. About positivity, uplifting ourselves, finding a better way to exist other than, how we're existing now. We're going through a lot of shit. We're in dire straits, man. So my message, whenever we do lives, man, or wherever I do live, is to uplift the people, man, and talk about something positive. Talk about something other than what we're dealing with, these burdens we have every day, man. I want to be your outlet. You know what I mean? So that's what the conversation is about, man. I got you on the get out, man. So if you're so inclined, man, let the people know who you are, and let's just have a conversation, man, just on some general topics, bro. Nothing serious.
Well, okay, let me see here. What's the topic?
Like I say, well, I got you on the thing right now. This is Big Hoov, people. This is one of our originals right here, man, and it's an honor to have you on the call, bro. Like I say, topic right now, man, it's just positivity. You said you had some good news. I don't know if you want to share that with the public, with the social media sphere. You know what I'm saying? You could probably hold on to that, man, and tell me about that after the call and shit. But right now, man, tell me about just based on what we see happening in today's world, man, especially with our youth and in our communities, man, is there something you can impart to the youth that may be, something they can carry on with them, man, today, tomorrow, or, help them to evolve and develop into better men? You know what I mean? What can you give them, man, other than what they getting out there, man? Because what they getting out there, it ain't really helpful, man. It ain't positive. So.
All right, out of respect, Bub, you don't give me all your plus, man, because you're the home and everything, right?
Yeah.
Second, I want to introduce myself.
There you go.
My name is Clarence Hoover, man, and yeah, I'm glad I called.
I'm glad you called too.
What I can say, right now we have like what can I say, a generational gap as far as the way society is ran right now, right?
That's right.
Now, since I've been in this 50-some years, right, my part was ethics. We lost all our ethics on it.
Yeah.
We have to bring some ethics back into this order for it to work. Because half the homies don't even know what the word ethics means.
That's true. That's true.
And throughout my ordeal, that's why we've been surviving, because the lines that been pushed was ethics. And what anybody say about it is ethics. And that's the line that would need to be pushed all over again, ethics.
All right. Can we equate ethics with structure?
Well, ethics is the highest principle known to man.
His morals and all that, yeah.
You got a lot of, you got basketball ethics.
That's right.
Football ethics.
That's right.
But in our generation, I'm talking about like uplifting ethics.
That's right. That's right.
That need to be, okay, give you an example. If I seen a guy snatching old lady's purse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just stand and look and don't say anything about it, I'm out of ethics.
There you go.
That's what needs to be corrected now. Ethics. There's nothing wrong with helping an old lady, man. Like, hey, homie, don't do, something,
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to cross you. I'm going to keep it in ethics. I'm going to keep that, everything in ethics.
Gotcha.
And it's true because, we all know when we're wrong, and we don't force the ethics.
Right.
When you enforce ethics, it's ethics in politics. People say politicking, but if it got good ethics, it's going to work.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah.
Yes, ethics, like you said, in politics, is ethics in society. There's ethics in economics.
Absolutely.
So I get the point. I get the point you're making, man, wholeheartedly. And that's some good spiel right there. In fact, I take that back. That's not spiel. That is some good sound advice. That's sound wisdom. So those who are listening, man, listen to the brother, man. Like you say, he got 50-some years in this. And as he went along, I'm just paraphrasing, you function with nothing but ethics first and foremost.
That's the only way I know how to do it. And I never had any problems doing it.
That's right.
Because we know when we're out of ethics, man. We
That's
know
right.
what we should be doing.
That's right.
What we shouldn't be doing.
That's right.
But then, when you have people enforcing it, it's a different story. So we stop that. There's nothing wrong with forcing ethics, huh?
So how do we get to that juncture in the road where we start to try to implement ethics again? How do we, hand this message off, man, to those who might not know they need them, but can use them most?
One thing, we have to actually roam through the neighborhood and start snatching our grandkids and kids and stuff.
That's first. Yeah.
That's first, huh?
Yeah, that's first.
And I love what I have been. There ain't nothing changed. It just now, since I got older and trying to apply the knowledge that I got, I get mad, man, when I see a girl coming down the street or a man coming down the street and he got his little kid banged out.
Yeah.
Banged out. That's out of ethics, man.
Yeah. That's just so wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that's out of ethics.
That's so wrong.
Nowadays, take your kid to school and stuff, and the teacher telling them they could be women and men's, and they out of ethics, huh? You see what I'm saying? That's out of ethics. I don't want you telling my kid that he can wear a dress or
right.
That's out of ethics.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. What type of gender they should be or whatnot. I get what you mean. Yeah, I get what you mean by that. Yeah.
We're not on their ethics. We're on our ethics.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
And I think that what you're saying, it alludes to the fact that we're not on our ethics anymore.
Not at all.
We're on their ethics, and I think for a lot that is the problem. I think that is the problem. That's what needs to be addressed. How we're carrying ourselves, and we're not carrying ourselves based upon our own ethics. Ancestrally speaking, first and foremost. But we're getting down based upon the ethics of those who basically run everything, and this is what they dictate.
You ever heard the term commissar?
Commissar. No, break that down for me, please.
You remember that? You remember that old record say, "Don't turn around, the commissar in town."
Don't turn around, the commissar. I'm trying to recall that one. No.
It was the commissar is the Russian. It's like a general. In the military, right?
Right.
And he enforced principles.
Huh.
He enforced ethics and principles.
Ethics, yeah, principles.
You see, that's what he do. So he walks around. Matter of fact, my last job that I had, I was an ethics officer in the job that I had. And my job was running around to every organization that was, this person owned. I was the ethics officer of that building. So I had to walk up in there, and any employee or anybody out of ethics, I had to bring them to the office. Hey, man, you can't be smoking up here.
Yeah.
Weed, you in rehab.
Yeah, out of ethics. And basically checking them, but in such a way to where, this is the way to be. As opposed to just pushing the line, running roughshod over a person. But you're letting them know, hey, man, here are the ethics, right? Especially in the workplace. I got you.
That's what we got to do. And second, I really would like any conversation that we have, like we have it now about ethics. We should have 5 or 6 youngsters right there. I'm talking about 13, 14, 10, 12.
That's right.
Right there listening, huh?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because that's what's needed.
That's what's needed. And I want to jump in there based on you saying that. I can recall our uncles getting us when we was kids and sitting us down, hitting us with real life ethics. This is how you're supposed to carry yourself. This is what you're supposed to say, do, and act. You know what I mean? This is how it's supposed to be. I recall our uncles doing that to us and with us. Yeah.
Yeah. So once we get the ethics thing back, things come together, huh?
That's true.
They come together.
That's true.
We're gonna need it. Yeah. We're gonna need it, man, because I'll be watching a lot of TV, and the Trump, he about to release the police department on everybody.
Man,
better get right,
man. That's just one aspect of what he's about to do. Now, a lot of these brothers don't know he done made agreements with these foreign countries to send criminals, American citizens who have been convicted of crimes, to foreign countries to do their time. Right. So yeah, the police is just one aspect of it. Yeah, he's going to release them. He's going to let them do what they want to do. And if you're watching the news, people, lately, they acting up again. They are acting up. It actually ain't never stopped, but it's becoming more pronounced. Just check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, and a lot of them is quitting the police department because they know the police are ethics, half of them, not all of them, and they quit because they don't want to be a part of it. I feel like this. Everybody better wake up and see exactly what you just got through saying. They sending people to El Salvador with these cases and stuff.
Right.
The only reason they ain't did us like that because we don't have a home that they can send us to.
Well, hey, like I told you, he done worked out this get down, and what was that? Rwanda, I think it is, where he done worked out some deal to, in due time, they're going to be transferring, American citizens convicted of crimes to Africa. Yeah. At least that was the news, for that day that I got. So yeah, man, it's going on, man. It's happening. Now, I look at a lot of news as well, Hoov. I've been watching, news, especially in Africa, what's happening in Africa. Have you been keeping up to breast with that?
Yeah, I've been knowing about that.
Africa. Yeah. Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Well, from what I mean, they need to partner with somebody that's gonna look out for them because the United States did so,
Right. Not just the United States, all the Western, the West did that. But just the fact that these Africans are now coming together in such a way, man, I'm telling you, man, it made me, my spirit went up, man. When I as I checked this out, my spirit just it's lit, man. It's lit. And I got to thinking about us over here. The struggle continues over here as well. Now, we're not colonized, but still we're subjected to a certain government process. Capitalism has its hold on us. You know what I mean? For them over there, it's about neo-colonialism. You know what I mean? They're still being colonized over there. Their resources are being just stripped from them. And people, they say Africa's poor. Africa's the richest continent on the planet. However, they live in abstract, just poverty, man. The worst levels of poverty, man, imaginable. But I'm saying all that to say this, man. Them young brothers and sisters over there, man, fire's been lit under their asses. And a lot of them was with the funnies too. A lot of them was with the BS as well, But something happened to, transmute that behavior into this behavior of ethics now. Now they're saying, hey, man, this is what it is, and we're with this. They're torn a cue, of certain principles about not just their lives, man, but their futures, So, just seeing that, man, in Africa, man, it made me think about us over here and trust and know, man, we are up against it just as well. It's not in the same fashion, same form, but we are still up against it over here. And we've been through a lot over here, man. So it's due time, man.
I mean, they having their problems with shoes. We just suffering just as bad, but being the races that we are, that's all over the world. We've been treated like that.
All over the world.
We got to concentrate where we live at right now.
That's right. That's right.
Because it's needed here.
Yeah.
And colonialism I'm worried about crippism.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? That's what's killing us right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, again, I was just using that for an example. Okay, man, we up against it. Yeah, I know. And this is for the people, Big Hoov. And hold on, let me struck. I got people coming in the comments. Man, we have with us live, man, on this live stream, Under the Groove, man, touching bases with the people. Big Hoov that came in and he's touching bases with us, man. He's on this get down, man. So y'all tap in, man. If you got a question for the brother that's respectful and it makes sense, it's talking about what we're talking about, hit him up, man. And I'll read the question to him, man. And if he, feels free to answer it or give you guys some feedback, he will. Yeah, bro, I get you, man. The cryptism, man, the bloodism, everything over here, this is what's hurting us. This is what's killing us, man. Real shit. Real shit.
It ain't like we ain't got money. I mean, there's a whole bunch of us got money, but a lot of them, playing basketball, a lot of them doing rapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they really, they'll love to talk to one of us, like, if we got a program that's gonna be successful now.
They would support it.
Them programs and wind up in jail and all that other crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a different story too.
Yeah.
But we done had a lot of people reach out and touch us, and the ethics took it out from under us, just like the round table years ago.
Right.
It was a good program, but people enforced the ethics, and look what happened.
Yeah. A lack of ethics made that crumble and dismantled that whole get down. Got you.
Right.
Got you.
Right. Now a lot of them got older, and we're not saying that we're smarter, but I can tell you this: it's been a hard job, and it's not only for me, for everybody that went through what I've been through. Shoot, we here in America, and I've been put in places where flies don't even land. For as they're concerned, for the jailhouse doesn't go, I know how that go. Ain't nobody tell me about that.
Right.
Tell you stuff like that.
Right.
I see all these people, man. All these young people. I mean, it's crazy because they're not going to have people with ethics that they can go to and get it right. Because there's so many of us running around here still got heartaches about things that happened and on and on years ago. Okay, that's fine. But we're talking about right now our kids and our grandkids, man.
Right.
When people come to my house, I want to see all the kids in my pool. I don't give a damn what
right.
That's right. My pool, man. Come on now.
Hey, I could dig that because when the kids come to my, me and my wife be like, "Oh, you spoiling me." Like, no, man, this is how we love them. Let them, but at the same time, I'm talking to them, lacing them, giving them the ethics. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, let me hit you with this. We got a comment in here for you, bro. Neil Sprite, he asked, Big Hoov, would you say on a grassroots level, without a plan and end goal, we lack direction?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of knowledge as far as correcting behavior and stuff like that. We don't.
Wow.
We act on impulse.
Wow.
Everything we do is on impulse.
Wow.
What we see. And that's how we function. But now we're getting on this intellectual level, and things is begin to register in this brain of ours. There's a better way,
That's right.
It's a better way.
That's right.
And long as people can ask questions like the guy that just did, somebody gonna grasp it.
Yeah.
Somebody out there is way intelligent than we are is gonna step in and say, "Hey, man, okay, well this is what we need to do. Let's try to work this." And we're gonna listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna listen to them because one thing we do know is niggas bullshit. Excuse the language, but
all right.
You know what I mean? We know that part, so you got to be for real and enforce these ethics.
Man, real spit. And again, that question was from Neil Spike, man. Hey, brother, we appreciate that, man. And I hope, hopefully, Big Hoov answered your question, man. You know what I mean? He gave you a little more insight, input in terms of what you asked the brother. I was just talking to somebody the other day, Big Hoov, and it basically went like it had to do with with our conduct. You know what I mean? And you just said this, man. We know right from wrong. We know right from wrong. So it's not like we're going into a situation and we don't know whether or not ethics are applied to the actions we're about to make. You know what I mean? And to couple that, I'll couple that with this. You just also said brothers are and sisters too reactionary. I just had a conversation last week on the live episode, and I said, man, I labeled it as brothers are in their feelings, and they need to get out of their feelings. You know, start using that mind, start thinking. You know what I mean? So, you know, you mentioning that, you know what I mean, it just brought to mind what I had shared with the people a week or so ago. It's some real stuff, though. It's real spit, man.
Yeah, something to think about.
Something to think about.
Let me put this on you. Now, when we were coming up, right?
Yeah.
We would see an older guy around and stuff, and we wouldn't trip, right? But nowadays, you know, I just turned 73 years old.
Wow.
Now, what would I look like, you know, coming to the hood, telling the homies, nigga, you know, put that rag in your back pocket, nigga, and follow me.
Right.
These people, they got daddies and mamas, and they not daddies and mamas. It's not going for it. If they love their kids, nigga, what you over here trying to push that shit for?
On my kids.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
Get your old ass up out of here.
Real shit.
But then, you know, a lot of us caught up that don't do that. They don't do it. But we have to do it. You know, we have to force ethics, man. That's all.
Man, real spit. I was talking to a blood brother today, man, on my way here, Big Hoov. And the brother, you know, he had a good point. He said basically that, okay, yeah, we can sit up like what you're saying, man. Let's impart these ethics to these young brothers and sisters so that they get understanding how they should carry themselves, conduct themselves, man. Not just out in public, but when they by themselves, with, you know, how they think, how they, you know, act, whatnot. He said, man, part of the problem is when you're dealing with the youth, the guys today, they'll probably look at you sideways because they're thinking, hey, man, you did this shit. You created this shit. So now you want to tell me not to do the shit you brought to the table. They got, you know, not do the shit you got us doing. We followed in your footsteps. So how do we deal with that, man? Is there a way to deal with that?
Like this, once we establish something.
Yeah.
Then a lot of homies, you know, they got little programs and stuff, and they hiring the homies to work for them and everything, and on and on and on, right?
Right.
So once we have something to reach out and help everybody, then we're gonna have to appoint an ethics officer to that whatever we got going.
Got you.
You know, and that ethics officer, what he gonna do? He gonna, you know, call meetings, enforce principles, enforce the rules. You know, now homies, we know we ain't no gangsters. We ain't out here with that. We got decent jobs. And,
that's right.
You know, I done sent you over here to this rehab center. I could have found out you in there bringing drugs to the kids. You got to go.
Yeah.
You out there, man.
Probably with ass kicking too, but yeah, I hear you.
We ain't gonna get on the ass kicking part. We're gonna use some diplomacy. We know how that goes. Ass kicking part, and that ain't did nothing but got a nigga.
You got him mad, yeah. Got him mad, yeah, real shit.
We know how that goes. Let's try the other route.
Yeah.
And if when people see you for real, they got things going on, they gonna respect it because they got kids now. A lot of them got kids.
That's right.
You know, I don't give a hey man, I love the homies and all that, but nigga, we done had our run now. It's done. It's all about these damn kids.
It's about these babies now, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know, and I guess I guess when you see my Facebook, you say, "Oh, well, my kids bring it every day, man."
Yeah.
You know,
man,
they're different.
Hey, that is something else. But you know what? You just spoke on something, and I know this goes for a lot of brothers, man. Who've been in the life, who are now responsible, who are on the ethics way of life, the path. They kick it with them kids, man.
Yeah.
They with them kids, man, and I know for a fact a lot of them are important, the real to these children, man. You know what I mean? And some of the older ones, you know, still are kids, but you know, I got a son, man. We got sons, and we talk to them straight up. Hey, man, nah. That ain't cool. This is what you're supposed to do as a man. You know, so you saying that, man, that's something we're used to seeing, especially when we go around certain individuals, loved ones. You know, we are used to seeing them interact with the kids, you know, and be on their neck about them ethics, man.
Yeah.
About them ethics.
Because in the long run, see, they trying to teach us, but we don't listen. I bet you every family got a person older stuff in their family. And half of them don't even know how to use an iPhone. But I bet you grab your little grandkid, she'll walk you through
it. Hey, that's crazy you say that. I just said that last week. I just say, man, I got problems dealing with this technology. But look here, man. Them kids know how to deal with all this. And to me, that's some genius shit. They know they shit, man.
Yeah, we got to keep up with the times.
Got to keep up with the times. So look here, man. Neil so Neil loving this shit, man. He said, thanks, man. And you did answer the question, Big Hoov. He has another one. And Neil, we're going to give somebody else a chance, but I'm going to read this one. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you in there, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So he said, Big Hoov, how do we implement a plan to advance our blood and crypt core mind elevation to start understanding that don't stay stagnated and be scared to expand our thinking or your thinking? I get what he's saying. You know, did you get the gist of it?
Yeah. Education. You know,
education.
We have lack of knowledge and education. But we see you and the guy that just posed the question.
Yeah.
We understand how this banging go.
Yeah.
You know, this death. This military.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Slander, lewd, this stuff, and anything else.
Yes, sir. Ain't nothing good about it. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, just think about the other people on the other side that, you know, allegedly supposed to be enemies, whatever, you know, they feel the same way.
Same shit.
Same stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not weird, I mean, that I'm on this conversation tonight because, you know, I just found out that I knew your brother, man. He was a good guy, you know, from Widow.
You knew my baby brother, man?
Man, I raised him.
Man. Oh, wow, bro.
I was over there with him all this when I got out in '98.
Wow.
Right there with the Center Parks, man, over there with you know, the Widows.
Man.
All the widows, my brothers and cousins and stuff like that.
Man. Yeah, and his homeboys are still my guys today. They're still family, you know what I mean? Wow, man. Hey, Big Hoov, I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah, my little cousin GD, you know.
Yeah, man, I know GD, man. That's my boy. Man, hey, GD, my boy. Oh, man, hey, boy, that's my boy, man. How's he doing?
He doing good. He doing excellent.
Man, when you talk to GD, you tell GD I love him, man. I miss him, man. That boy can keep me laughing, but he was a serious brother. Boy, man, you tell GD I send my love, man. My love and respect, man. Golly. So I know you the fact that you knew my youngest brother, man, rest in peace. I'm pretty sure you was imparting all kind of wisdom to his ass. You had that seen something in him to even mess with him, man.
If you know them, they'll tell you, I kept it 100 with
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
man.
I really did.
Man.
They know me, man. They know, you know, they can trust me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I got, man, we got to talk, man. You know,
man, damn, Hoov.
I want to tell you that, man. You really do, you know. And it's not, you know, long. I'm here, you know. It's not strange. I'm on this broadcast.
Man, ain't that something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I make statements all the time.
Yeah.
You know, if we're not trying to force what we trying to uplift the community.
Yeah.
Humanity. Don't even talk to me, man. I mean that.
I can dig it.
I'm 73 years old. I'm trying to uplift some stuff, man.
Man, I was on that note. On that note, I was telling somebody, man, that so I had to step back and reflect just on myself, and I realized something, man. I said, hey, man, I don't want my legacy to be, you know, the life I lived. You know what I mean? Man, that put fear in me, man. That put fear in me, bro. And I'm telling you, this is, when I talk to the homies, I ain't got to be a homeboy, man. I talk to brothers now that I don't get damn where you from, man. Man, how are you doing? You know, hey, man, what's going on? I just want to have a conversation with you. But by the time we part company, man, I done let him know, man, hey, man, you're worth something, man. You worth more than gold, man. We need brothers, man. We need sisters, man, to step up to the plate, man, and represent what needs to be represented, man. And that's what I impart to brothers nowadays, bro. Crazy, man. Damn, Hoov. Damn, you messed me up, man. Got me feeling all in my spiritual, man. Golly.
No, well, like I said, I just sit here, man. I've been wanting to talk to you about different things and stuff, but now, I need to get everybody got these platforms, especially, Mac, Melly, all of them, because I know every last one of them.
Yeah.
And we all need to sit down and do something, man, and try to do something. But that's another story. I would go by doing that another day.
Let me jump in there because you just hit another nail on the head, man. So this weekend coming, I'm gonna do a Zoom conference, a Zoom panel, man, with brothers from different areas. Brothers from different areas, man, and the conversation is gonna be about us, our community. You know what I mean? Like the discussion we're having now. What can we bring to the table, man? That can, help elevate, or give some positivity to those who need it most, man. That'll be this Sunday. I'm gonna send you the Zoom address in case you want to, pop in, man, for a minute or two, man. That would be beautiful, and I'm quite sure people would appreciate it, man. You with your wisdom, man. They appreciate hearing you speak, truth to power. I got another one for you right quick, and if you don't mind, man, check this out. This from Northbound Media. So, Big Hoov, he asking, is it a contradiction to push peace but still match energy with rivals if they're on that time?
Well, first of all, check this out. Pushing peace is one of the most controversial thing on earth besides religion. So everybody have a leader and a way about sitting up talking about pushing the peace and all that. But it's really not no war. First of all, you got to understand that part. It really ain't no war. If you push anything, you be pushing to save yourself. Once you say, okay, brother, we're going to respect you and this and that, that's yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with a war or nothing, because it really ain't no war.
Yeah.
If it was a war, we'd all be in jail right now. We supposed to have enemy 2 blocks down the street and all this other crazy stuff. What's the war?
But you right up the street, yeah.
Right. We see each other every day. And then we got cousins and brothers and uncles and stuff and different others.
That's right.
Sons and different sets and
That's
stuff
right.
that we pass by every day. It's not no war.
Right.
That's a miss.
Yeah.
That's a miss. There's a bunch of idiots out there trying to make money, so they do what you do. But leave the name and the game banging off of it. You're going to go out there and do stupid stuff and out of ethics. Don't be talking about you this and you that.
Right. Huh.
You affected my kids, man.
Dispel the myth, man. Dispel the myth. You're not at war, man. Yeah. Yeah. Real spit. Real spit.
And that's why you got to be careful when you have people on the program talking about, well, I never do nothing with them niggas. Come on, man. What you mean? We don't need all that.
Yeah, they won't get a seat here.
Right.
Yeah, they won't get a seat here. And I learned early on to make sure that those will never have a seat at this table. You know what I mean?
Right.
Damn, man. And the brother said respect, man. So basically, he appreciates you just, divulging your wisdom, giving that to the people, man. He said respect to you, though, Big Hoov. Man, yeah, we at the time, we're in dire straits. That's one of the terms I use. We're in dire straits, man. But I think that it's bad, but I also think that it don't have to be bad. It don't have to be this. You know, it don't have to be this. And the way to change this thing, man, is through dialogue first. And that's one of the things I noticed was missing when it comes to a lot of podcasts, man. Positive dialogue, communication. You know what I mean? Exchange of views, man, respectfully, you know, that sort of thing. You know, and I've always hoped that, I've always thought that when I come on, man, I want to be able to bring that to the table. Communication. You know, let's communicate, man. You know, because I think that's what's missing.
I want to let you know this too. A lot of people, man, don't know that I've been over in the hood, right? I've been messing with every church over there in the hood. The one on Coleman, the one on 75th. I mean, about 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Every year, all the churches over there in the hood, right? They got districts.
Right.
They get together, homie, and they go and rent out these cabins in Wrightwood, right? And we take many youngsters that want to go, and we sit up there for 3 days.
Like a retreat? 3 days. Like a retreat?
It's a retreat.
Yeah. All right. Damn.
You know, and they feed you. You know, you eat 3 times a day, all, you know, and you get your cabins. You know, you can sleep in whatever cabin you want to sleep in, whoever you want to be in there with to sleep with. You know, when we go up there and we take a lot of youngsters, and this time, there was a lot of youngsters from different hoods, right?
Gotcha.
And all the pastors that came throughout the neighborhood, they really couldn't understand why they acting the way they acted. So I had to sit in the middle of the floor and explain them to them. You know, they seeing out the eyes of what they seen, man. They don't have no feelings because they done seen their mamas out there hooking. They done seen their daddy raping their sisters. They done seen all of this, man. And they grew up different. They grew up where they think they mad.
Yeah.
So you just can't call them to go to church and then pass the hat around, thinking you're going to put some money out and talking about praise the Lord and stuff. They ain't trying to get out of that. You know, so I told them, like I'm telling everybody now, you know, you know, y'all just start putting some ethics in your life, man. It ain't got to be Christian or Muslim or whatever, but, you know, put some, we watch out for each other because, you know, ain't nobody no enemies.
Yeah, put them principles in your life. Yeah, put them principles in your life.
And I enjoyed it up there. And this year, next year, I want to try to find every homie that I know and try to take up there with me.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
You're going to love it.
Yeah, sign me up. Now, I'm going to say something in regards to what you just spoke of. So the homeboy Devil, you know, he had fell ill. And we caravan, we caravan to Auburn, California to visit the bro. And we got a Airbnb. And, man, it was over about 30 of us, man. And I'm going to tell you, that was one of the most insightful times I've spent with the homies outside of just being in the dirt game banging. Now, we on a whole nother level now. You know what I mean? We're having discussions about life now.
I'm sorry I didn't make it, but
man,
I heard about it.
It was a good time, man. It was a good time. And like I said, man, I was able to garner a greater understanding of a lot of homies that, you know, I probably, you know, didn't want to, you know, sit down and, you know, talk with, chop it up with for whatever reason. But I found that trip, in that trip, man, not just the patience, man, but the willingness, man, to sit down and just hear my homie. You know what I mean? Hear, you know, what, you know, talk, you know, talk what was on his mind, share with me, you know, what it was he was going through, what he seen, felt, thought, or whatever. And likewise, you know, I was able to do the same. And I'm telling you, that was one of the most, for me, eye-opening getaways I had, man, with loved ones, man.
Yeah.
With loved ones. So look.
Since I've been home, though,
yeah,
your birthday party,
yeah.
Don't you know, man, I seen dudes that I seen like 13 years old. Now we 73.
Man. And I had to, I appreciate the G's coming out, man. I had my, damn. I look at them pictures this day, man. Now, on that note, this Hoover Street got a question for you. And it's almost in the same vein of what you just said. You hadn't seen brothers since you guys been together when you were 13. So Hoover Street asks, who are some of the OGs Big Hoov groove with on the streets? Now, that's something you could decide to ask or answer if you want to.
What was the question?
Who are some of the OGs Big Hoov grew with on the streets?
What do you mean grew with?
What? Yeah, hung out with. I would imagine grew up with and that type of thing. Yeah.
You want me to name some of
them? I imagine that he would. It's a question mark. But like I said, that's your prerogative. You don't have to, bro. But yeah, he's asking who are some of the dudes you grew up with, basically. Yeah.
Well, like it'd be like this right here, man. I can name a whole bunch of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I put it like this. I don't know one person this day in the hood is older than me.
Wow.
I'd put it like that. But let him figure that out.
That's it. So Big Hoov 73. Yeah. 73. So that's making a statement. That's making a statement.
I done lived on the Trade. I done lived on 82nd. I done lived on 58. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Okay, so Big Hoov, man, they tapping in, man. They are tapping in. So just clicking, and man, he's always in the comments. I always appreciate his comments and his questions, man. He's asking, well, he said, just tapping in. Who is on the line, Bub, speaking to, and what section? So if you want, you can introduce yourself again, because we got a lot of people coming in right now, and they don't know who I'm speaking with.
Okay. Well, if you ever meet me, my name is Clarence Hoover, man. Yeah. If you ever meet me, the section that I really represent is on my back. I got big South Central Los Angeles tattoo on my back with 2 guns coming out the back of my back. So that's the frame of mind I was in. And I had them when it was South Central, not Central Los Angeles. So, yeah, I'm talking to everybody that grew up on the east side, west side, Compton, because I don't live everywhere. That's why I know everybody. I'm talking to us.
Yes.
And if you're a part of us, I'm talking to you.
Yes, I get you. And I know they hear you.
Well, yeah.
I know they hear you.
When he leaves, if he got a Jeep, wherever he's from, ask him, do he know me? And watch what he tells you.
All right. He says, so just clicking. He said, if you got a G, ask your G if he know Big Hoov.
Yeah.
All right.
In the feds, states, or whatever. I've been all of them, so. I didn't know them a time.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We got Cleveland Ross, man. We got Cleveland Ross in the house. What's happening, loved one? What's happening, man? I just hollered at him earlier today and yesterday as well. This is a loved one, man. Real solid brother. His question, it's not a question. He's just making a statement. That's what's up, bub. Keep up the Hoover story, or keep the Hoover story going, and keep spitting the positive notes to the people. Man, for sure, Cleveland. For sure. And like I said, people, we're blessed right now. Man, you said this, Big Hoov, about 5 minutes ago. See, everything happened for a reason, man. It happens in its right time and space. You know what I mean, bro? I didn't expect a call from you today. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, you reached out, man, just as I was starting the podcast. I mean, literally, maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds into it, maybe a minute. But here you are, man. And that's providence. That's something else at work. You know what I mean? That's something else at work, man. So, hey, man, like I said, I appreciate you being here, man. And from the comments, based on the comments and questions, they appreciate you being here as well, man. So just clicking, he just hit back and he said, oh, I definitely heard the name and know the history. All right, there it is there. There it is there.
And next thing, like I tell you, what I really want to do, man, because they need to hear this.
Come on.
You need them, man. You got to get Cal, man. You got to get everybody, man. And y'all should just have one with all of y'all together. And then you see what people call in, because we all there. We'll be all there. Because everybody got that history like that. Then they see that going on. You'd be surprised what we can accomplish, man. Yeah. Y'all are the bosses right now.
Hey, so me and Kev Mack, it's been a year now. We've been sitting up, we just trying to, we've had that discussion. We're going to sit down together. But like you suggested, and this is what we both suggested, it won't just be he and I. We want to bring in some more brothers, man. You know, I also kick it, you know, and speak to a brother, you know what I mean? Crazo from Raymond Cripps. You know what I mean? He's a good brother, man. You know, he has a podcast. You know, there are others. OG Bam out of Compton, that's my dude, man. You know, another good dude, man. But there are podcasters, man, who are on some positive shit. You know, a lot of content, you know, people might not think it's, you know, positive, but just listen to the stories. And there's always a lesson in most of these guys' stories. That's what I get from Kev Mack and Crazo. Big Bam as well. OG Bam from Compton as well. But that's something.
That was my selling folks.
Bam.
Yeah.
Bam. That's the homie.
He'll tell you all about it. He'll tell you exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, that is the homie, man.
And I wasn't doing no backstabbing stuff. I just pushing lines like I'm supposed to with some ethics.
Yeah, with some ethics. Yeah. I'm surprised Bam ain't tapped in yet. I hope he taps in, man, you know, while we on this thing, man. But man, look here, they're coming in hard and heavy right now, Big Hoov. They appreciate you being on the get down, bro. The platform appreciate you being on the get down.
I want to know, man, that there's nothing wrong with a platform as long as we talking, you know, the uplifting part.
Right.
And,
right.
All the other questions about what you used to do or who you did something to. We
don't need to hear all that. Need that. You don't need that, you know, and I say that all the time, Big O. I'll tell a brother quick, hey, man, that ain't this, man. You're not going to get that on this. You know, you might want to go to, you know, one of them other get downs, man, to get that. But I guarantee you won't get it here. And I'm not going to allow nobody to come on here and do any of that. So, you know, the homie Chip 74 sent his to you also, Big O.
Chip.
Yeah, Chip, man, 74. Yeah, Chippy. What's happening, Chip, man? I'm glad you're tapping in again, bro.
Yeah. One love, boy. You know I love you.
Man, Chip is the homeboy. D-Mac Bowl. Much love, y'all, from 5 Deuce Hoovers in Tennessee. All right, much love to the community in Tennessee, man. You brothers take care of one another, man. Listen to the message right now, though. Check it out. Check out the message, man. Yeah, man, this is something else, man. So I'm telling you, man, it's just an honor, homie, to have you on the get down, you know what I mean? I really mean that. We plan another party too soon. Hoov. We're planning.
There's already a guy asked me what areas I was speaking to, right?
Yeah.
I'll let you know, man. I get shout out to Texas. I know some Hoovers, Texas.
There you go.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
There you go.
Arkansas. I could just go on and on and on. Louisiana,
man.
You know, and half of these people, you know, I learned would kick it with inside these institutions, and you know, and my biggest thing at one point was that attitude that we used to have about people that wasn't put on from California, those gangbangers.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that was my hardest challenge because I had to explain, like, okay, man, you know, all not Africans, all Muslims, they pay their respect to Mecca. And why do they do that? So they do that. So that's what Muslim countries is Mecca. Once you're Muslim, supposed to go to Mecca once upon in his life. So the point is that all the bangers and the brothers that got caught up and still caught up in this gang banging, you know, you don't have to feel threatened about somebody being from California. Just respect them because, you know, and they supposed to respect you, not look down on you because you were not down here repping it. So my bottom line here, just respect each other turf. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right.
Out for the kid.
That's
I'm not mad at nobody that wasn't a gangbanger.
That's right.
Down here, you gangbanger for somewhere else.
Right.
My thing is, you know, everybody's, it's no factual. Everybody come from everywhere. You know, starting different things in every city. So, you know, Chicago. I want to tip my hat to all the brothers in Chicago that I know.
All right. Shout out to Chicago from Big Hoov, man. Yeah.
You know,
y'all tap in, man.
You know, a lot of them, you know, they kind of raised me when I first went to the federal prison. A lot of them, they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. See, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So you shoot, man. You nationwide in a sense, you know. Just in terms, you know, the people you know and met along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to stop. I don't want nobody, my kids going through what I went through, they ain't got to.
That's right.
It's enough for us now that got voices and they'll listen. It wasn't enough the generation we came up, because we had the game wrong. The game we was taught, you better have some hard, go rob some, go take some, go sell some dope. That's the game that we got.
Wow.
That's the only thing we knew. We got that game. And a lot of us were successful at that game.
Yeah.
Look at the penitentiary. We got, in the penitentiary. So they, you know, they ain't there because they was faking. They there because, you know, they did something they were supposed to do.
I was just having a conversation again, man, and I have to revert back to, you know, previous conversations on the Get Out, and that statement what you just made was made also. You know, man, we didn't learn nothing but bullshit. You know, how to be idiots.
Absolutely.
You know, and in our wake we left a lot of pain, destruction, a whole lot of shit. And it was wrong. You know, and I'll be, like I said, I'll be the first one to say it. You know, and I don't, you know, I can only speak for me, and from me. I know for a fact, man, that was it was bullshit, man. It was bullshit. I love my community. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, ain't no question about it.
Yeah, love my community. But hey, man, we you know, we didn't help it.
Yeah, no.
We didn't help it. You know?
We're doing it now, though.
We're doing it now, bro. You know, what they say, it's never too late. You know, it's never too late, man.
You know, all the time when I meet you, I always tell you, we're going to have to come up with a solution, man, and we're going to have to do a fundraiser or something and get one of those buildings in the neighborhood that's, you know, that can accommodate about 300-400 people and turn it into a large, man. You know, that way we get a lot done. You know what I mean? Because we all have somewhere to go and talk, and, you know, ain't got to be worried about, you know, the dumb stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I do, because I know that every other place got a fort. You know, every other Chicago, they got a fort. You know, different people got forts. You know, and they bury people up out of there. You know, they raise money up out of there. Do you know how much money we losing, man? How many homies we done had buried? Crips and Bloods. Man. And we got to go through these processes of paying the church to do this and that. It's just like awesome. We could be getting that own money and giving it back to the community. Yeah. Enough of us dying. Damn, I just said that last week. Why the hell we ain't got a cemetery, all this damn killing we doing? Why we don't own a mortuary and get that shit back to the community, man? Yeah. That don't make no sense. Now, I got a question from Sean Session. He said he asked, was Cuz locked up with my uncle Big Casper from 11 Deuce Hoover? Yeah, I know Casper. Yeah. Now I got another one, and I don't know. I'm debating whether or not Ro Ross. He says, Bub, I never knew there was so much false Hoover history all over the internet. This shit crazy. But what do you mean? What do you mean, bro? You know, break that down for us. Break that down for us, if you will. All right. Hey, Kimberly Mitchell, I see you, home queen. She says a big salute with a Hoover wave to you. And Big Hoov, the homie, West Side, you know, and to Big Chip from 7-4. Feeling blessed, and we're here 100%. All right. Love the support, man. Appreciate you tapping in, Kim. That's right. That's right. Man. Yeah, that question, I don't know. He said, Bub. What was the question? The brother's name, is Ro Ross, and he's asking, or he's saying, Bub, I never knew there was so much false Hoover history all over the internet. This shit crazy. So I would like for him to expound upon that. You know, let us know what he means. I do it for him. The reason is this. It's money. It's money at this point. The clicks. I could start a program right now and start lying about every set and make millions of dollars, because people go tap in with that dumb shit. Man, with that dumb shit, that idiot shit. You know? Yeah. But what you talking about, we talking about raising up the community. That's nothing dumb about that.
Nothing dumb about that.
We
Nothing false about
no
that.
gang banging and none of that shit.
Yeah.
We talking about trying to get the community and the kids, show them a better route.
Yeah.
That's not. I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
Well, this nigga over there, he was from here. This nigga is claiming he ain't. I ain't talking about none of that. I don't give a damn about where he from.
Yeah.
If he's in the same boat we in, educate and watch what happens. They ain't trying to hear that shit. What you gonna
yeah, right.
yeah. Get against that wall and follow order.
Yeah. See how you gonna like that.
Yeah, for real. You know, don't listen to. I'm not telling you don't listen to it, homie, because you know you must be concerned about it because then it caught your attention. Now, if you feel like it's some talk about it, like I'm doing, just say it. You know, but use some diploma. You know, diplomacy, man.
Diplomacy, yeah. So listen here, Big Hoov. He responded. He got back with us, and he said to start all this Hoover Groover shit. You know, and I think I know what he mean by that. You know, there's been a lot of false narratives about that. But again, man, that's not coming from Hoovers. You know, and that again, that would go to his question. It's a whole lot of false Hoover history all over the internet. So yeah, I get your point, Ro. I get your point. Again, man, you know, when we talking about the community, man, for under the groove, man, I would love for brothers and sisters to come on the Get Down, man, and let's talk about how we grew up. See, because you know, a lot of us remember that there were morals, you know, there were ethics growing up. You know what I mean? As kids, you had to have them. You know, because if you didn't, your neighbor whoop your ass to set you straight. It was a whole lot going on back then. But hey man, you know.
But you know, I would say this though, Bub. I just want to get this right. Now, I'm 73 years old, man, and they got my name. All they gotta do is, you know, they sign out my record, all that old kind of stuff. I've been to every pen, I mean, that you could think of. Second of all, for me doing a lot of time, you know, I did a lot of time. So, you know, I went to the pen at 73 on an observation, and everybody else was going to YTS.
Man.
With the daughter.
Yeah.
So I seen all the homies at that time coming in where I was at.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha. You already there.
Right. All in the 70s, I've seen everybody coming in there. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I could talk about the homies from different sets that came there.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a lot of sets there. You know, I
That's
left
right.
the feds, I left the state, I think 82. Maybe 82, 83, around in there, and went to the feds and didn't get out until 98. But I left them there. But at the time I was leaving, I was seeing the structure and stuff like that. But the bottom line is, I cannot talk about a lot of things throughout the history of the street unless the homies in the cell, when they come in, who, you know, the homegirl named Woo, she did this, she did the home, you know, that's how I kept up on things, because when you come to jail, they're going to go to the set that the homies from, they're going to go kick it with it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the time, so at the time when I was going to jail, I never got no other tattoo but the tattoo that I got on me. All the other stuff that changed over the years, I got the same tattoo that I started off with. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I hope that clear up a lot of that. I would love to hear stories. I already heard them because they come to the pen and they tell me about them. What they did. I see the cases that they got. You know, I see the cases that they got. So that's good. I understood that part. But I love hearing about the homegirls and the homeboys talking about, you know, what they did as a youngster and stuff that.
That's right,
you know?
man.
And they can tell you what needs to be done too if you listen to them.
If you listen to them, there's always some wisdom and lessons, man, being imparted, man, being imparted to those who will listen. Real spit.
And half the time, you know, people that's outside listening, they always gonna have the negative thing to say. Well, y'all ain't got no house over there. Y'all don't own nothing over there. It ain't about all that. It was about, we was raised there though.
We were raised. That's our community.
Yeah. Who living over there now?
Yeah.
But that's
our community.
The park ain't named the park no more. So what? Yeah. We still Manchester Park for as we concerned.
As far as we concerned, right.
So yeah, you're gonna always have that negativity about that, but
Let me digress, man. I want to ask you a specific question pertaining to the question from Ro Ross. Did you know any Hoover Groovers back in the day? Yeah. You did?
You know the funny part about it?
What's that?
I probably get some. Well, no, I won't, because it's gonna make sense. All right. Just like right now, right? If you go outside and you see a little nigga coming by, he's sharp and you don't even know the nigga though, right?
Right.
Little dude, and he coming by and he's arrogant and he out there popping his collars and stuff.
Yeah.
And he don't know you. So the old people say, "Oh yeah, that nigga grew. That's a Hoov over there." That's what that was all about, though. The niggas was out there just trying the hustlers.
Yeah.
When the gangbanging wasn't full effect.
Yeah.
The hustling and stuff. The older people used to say, "Oh, them damn Hoov groovers," because we all around on Figueroa, all over there like that.
Yeah.
They gave us that. It wasn't never like a gangbanging set. It was the old people saying,
"Yeah."
Oh, he was Hoov groover.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's where it came from.
And I got niggas call me that right now.
Yeah, real shit.
It was just the people in that area.
Yeah.
If you wasn't in that area, you wouldn't know who grew over on the east side or west side or somewhere. Well, depending on what side of the east side you're on. But if you was way somewhere else, you wouldn't even got that term. That's why that term is right there in our area. It's the Hoov Groover ain't nowhere else.
Yeah, and that's crazy. You and I don't mean to cut you up, because I asked Joe, I asked TS, I asked all them, but have they ever met a Hoover Groover?
No.
And they said, "Nah, I ain't never met a Hoover Groover in my life."
No.
So there's that.
When I met all them, shit, I like 7, 8 years old and all of them.
Yeah. You got 6, 7 years on them easy.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some in here, man. They coming in hot and heavy, like I said. Al Thomas, you said, "We must mine these jewels from the elders before we lose them. This is priceless, people, and much needed. Love, as always." I appreciate you, Bub, and Mr. Hoov for sharing. Hey, man, we appreciate the comment, man. I know I do it. I'm pretty sure that Big Hoov do as well, man. We appreciate you in the comments and telling them that, this is some real spit right here, man. Big Red. I don't know if this Big Red said, "OG, would you ever get Whack 100 on here? Pyru, LOL." Nah, man. Again, man, teach your own, man. Like I said, man, I don't have issues with brothers, man. I don't have issues with brothers. You know what I mean? I got issues with others doing podcasts with brothers and having them look like fools and shit. But I don't have issues with brothers. So peace to Whack 100, man. Do your thing, man.
Well, hey, you ain't got no problem having nobody on there that's gonna force asses and peace in the neighborhood and all that good stuff. Right. Anybody welcome,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what he want to do. If he on the same page we on,
Okay. This one of the young ones right here, Big Hoov. This is Young King right here, man. He said, "Under the Groove is here to be the vanguard of peace by speaking truth to power. No disrespect to any other tribes, working on one goal: change the paradigm. Excuse me, people. Change the paradigm. Create a new model of success." Real spit, man. Real spit, young one. Yeah, and that is the goal. That is the goal, to change the paradigm. Be it political, be it educational, be it financial, economical, be it social. It be it just in terms of our community, man. Let's change the paradigm. I agree with you on that, bro.
Yeah, ride with each other instead of against each other.
There you go.
Is one guy right now is leading by example, and I respect the police department and all that, but the guy that the police killed his son and he ran him over.
Yeah.
You gotta lead by example, man.
Yeah, man.
Shoot, that's
hey, the brother name was Hinton. Jeremy is Hinton. Hey, man, I swear, man, that was visceral for me.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man.
And if you went to the courthouse
and looked at him like, yeah, I'd do it again.
Exactly what we talking about.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's time for us to come together, brother.
Man, it's time, people.
Kids. I don't give a damn about us. It's about my kids.
It's about it's the ones coming up behind us. Yeah. But again, man, I think what would be more consequential, man, is us leaving this legacy, man, other than, the decades behind what we left decades back, and what we see, a lot of brothers pushing today. We need to find a new legacy. And you said it, let's get with these kids, man. Let's show them the way, man. Let's give them these ethics, man. Let's get them on the straight and narrow, on the point to where they can grow to be way more than what we ever were, or more than what we dreamed of, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Man. So they said, Mr. Fantastic, I appreciate these gems being shared. Hey, man, you know what? Like I say, man, I'm honored, man. We're Under the Groove is fortunate to have Big Hoov on this get down right now, y'all. Y'all don't even understand, man. S said, was OG Hoov around at the inception of Hoover? And did he meet Hoover Joe, Tony Stacy, PT, etc.? You want to answer that one, Hoov?
Yeah, I know all of my brothers, man.
There you go.
They're the only ones you're talking about.
There you go.
We done did, we done been shackled up together, different places. Where we trying to keep y'all from going. We done been there. I've been there with them. Yeah, Stanley. We like brothers. We know each other. Stacy, Tony, all of us, man.
Yeah.
We've been in the y'all's
new
term is the trenches.
Man.
You wouldn't believe, man, what them guys done been through and still going through.
And still going through.
I understand. Mm-hmm. I understand. And they know me.
Yeah.
I won't speak the truth. I won't give a damn.
Yeah.
And I love them all, and they know that, man. We're going to do better. But yeah, you're going to have people going to be saying shit. They don't know what they're talking about too, though, But that's how it is.
Yeah.
But when you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Hey, Frederick, we got Frederick Hadzaby. He say he late to the get down right now, which is okay. We accept, let's be on time next time, brother. Yeah, but this is Clarence Hoover. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. Damn fool 74. Hoover Groover was a saying. What's up, homie? This Haney. What's happening, Haney?
Yeah, exactly. It was just like the old people were saying, they see them youngsters out there, when you get old, they got to have it. Well, y'all better be careful. That's the old groupers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's where that came from. And like Haney just said, man, Hoover Groover was just a saying, man. And that came mostly, like you saying, from the old folks. Probably they the ones probably started that. Yeah. Sean Sessions says, hey, big homie, this Yogi from 11 Deuce Hoover. I'm Mama Jones' grandson. Lil Hoov from 11 Deuce Hoover, nephew. I support your work. Keep doing your shit and stay giving out life tools to maneuver through this world. That's the goal, bro. That's the goal. Part of what making this happen, or what makes this happen, is the guest we have on the show now, man, Big Hoov, man. So y'all need to give y'all, man, hey, man, give him his medals, man, for being on this get out. I was about to say give him his flowers. I don't like giving flowers to guys, what I'm saying? So that's not a term I'm used to saying to brothers. But hey, man, give him his medals, man, recognition, his love and respect, man, for just being on it. He ain't have to be here, man, but he's here, and we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, so did OG Hoov meet?
I just hope that I said something to somebody, man.
Oh man, shit! It's in the comments. Hoov, you send a whole bunch. It's in the comments, brother. The comments speaking for it. Right. They in the comments, bro. So I got one from S. He said, "Did OG Hoov meet Bulldog, and does he have any stories of him?"
Well, they not stories. They real life facts.
It's a difference,
You know,
right?
the difference between stories, you know.
Not no narrative.
I ain't
Yeah,
got
right.
no stories, but they want to know some facts.
Right,
And
right.
I know that it's not a story. I know them everywhere. You know, all of them. What up, OG?
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. You know, but yeah, he's OG.
Man, there you go. Yes,
And
yes, yes.
I mean, it ain't too many people, man. It ain't too many people, man. You know, when you go through the system, like, man, you know, you don't know everybody, man. Shit, it ain't like now you can go through the city and ain't you know with the business and don't know nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like a dude told me, man, I was in the pen with you, Hoov. No, you wasn't. You know, I don't remember. Shit. So you know what I mean?
I can dig that.
You gonna know.
I can dig that. Cause I be suspect and kind of like, hey, yeah, I don't remember you, bro. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And bro, you know,
you was messing with us. That's the stuff. Well,
oh man,
you might have been. I'm not saying you wasn't, but
yeah, you know, but I don't recall that. Yeah. Hey, just clicking got a question. Determining out whether or not you want to answer this one. Who question is the story of Chocolate and his little brother and meeting with the West Side Crips. Is that a true story? Can you expound?
No, I can't. I don't know nothing about.
There you go.
Chocolate.
All right.
You know, I don't know, but only thing I like I say, I done heard a lot of that. They say stories about different that, but I could put it like this: the only set that I actually was involved, you know, talking to people to come the other way. And this in Tookie's book. If you read Tookie's book,
yeah,
you're gonna see my name in there and everything else.
Yeah.
In Tookie's book, that Blu-ray's Redemption, and he's gonna talk about when the West Side and Harlem got together, you know. And he usually talk about that. I was there for that one, you know what I mean? I was on the streets for that one.
All right.
You know, and that's how I used to live right next door to Sydney them from Harlem and stuff, you know. So I knew all of them from being over there, you know.
Yeah,
but
so that's history.
Yeah,
that's
but
history.
I do know that part. I know, you know, we talked to them and they became, you know, Harlem Crips instead of Harlem, you know. And then later, you know, when they start coming to the pen, they got to talking about 30s, you know. And I would say, well, I know a bunch of Harlems. I would associate them because of the age I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, but, you know, it took me a long time to grasp that, you know, they are, you know, Harlem are 30s, you know.
Yeah.
So later, you know.
Okay.
But it's still, yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's the only thing I can.
Well, shit, I think that was my fault. You answered that more than enough. We got the brother back.
But I tell him I know exactly who he's talking about. It could have happened. I wouldn't doubt it. He pushed the line, a positive line. I know that much.
Okay, then I'm damn sure he heard that part. Yeah. He tapping in with us. He in on the get out. So he's hearing everything you said. I know he appreciate that response. Frederick Hadzaby. Yeah, man. When I first saw your name, bro, I said, wait a minute, let me break this down into syllables so I pronounce it right. And he says, Bub says the last name proper. Hadzaby, one of the first tribes of Africa. All right, bro. There you go. There you go. Big Red. Now, Big Red, you said you had a couple of comments. I'm gonna read this one. OG, I bet in the 90s, Hoovers was grooving to Sibo's song, Grooving on the Sunday, LOL. You already know that. Sibo, man, was the loved one, man. Yeah, Sibo was the loved one, man. All right, brother, too. Okay.
Well, you know what's so funny?
What's that?
It's weird though, cause music, you know, affected. We took even set took different music, man, and got hooked with it. Like,
that's right.
Everything with groove in it, we played.
That's right. That's right. You know, anything that had grooving in it, that was something we had it on 8-track tape, the cassette tapes, and I got them in my playlist. Excuse me. I have them on my playlist now. Anything that got it in there, you know, and that just like I say, it's just part of the community, man. You know.
And then we used to take them and add stuff to them, like do I did it.
There you go.
Hoover did it.
There you go. You know? Yeah. I did an episode on that in terms of how it like I said, man, we grew up, man, and just music was something everybody, like you said, everybody have their songs.
Yeah.
You know, when they come on any set, any hood, they know that's the shit. And they change the lyrics. That's what they do. That's what we do. You know what I mean? Hey, Haney, I see you, man. So Haney says, keep spreading the word, homie. Like I said, bro, that's the goal. That's the goal. Maybe one day I can get you on there, Haney. Maybe one day you call in, just like Big Hoov, man. That'd be a good conversation to have, brother. Sean Sessions. Now, Sean, let's set the record straight. This is what he say, Big Hoov. Sean says, say, free Big Hoov and all the homies behind those walls. I don't think brother got the memo, but that's okay. Hoov is out here, bro. You know, he out here alive and well, bro.
Yeah, yeah. We a lot of people think I'm still in jail.
Well, yeah.
I seen a dude doing the broadcast and mention my name.
Yeah.
And he said, is he out? He said, yeah, he out, man, he out, you know. But
man,
I'm about breathing, man.
Hey, Frederick, man, appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that super chat right there, bro. And he says Big Hoov related to Larry Hoover from my way. Can you answer that one, bro?
Well, check this out. You know, like I say, I've been I didn't get a chance to we was in ADX together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
If he say from his way, he's from Chicago, right? What he say?
From his way? That's what I assume he's saying, yeah.
Okay. Well, when I first went to the federal system, the El Rukins, which was Black Stones at that time, right, gave me a foundation as far as, you know, organization and stuff, and ethics and stuff to that thing, right? So at that point, I joined the Moral Science Temple of America, right? And that was involving a lot of moles from Chicago. And that would be, you know, Alan Knox, the Knox brothers, David Bate, and that crew.
Okay.
You know,
gotcha.
They pretty much raised me. And that crew that I'm talking about, you got to know them because they gave them all that time. They said they went to Gaddafi, and Gaddafi gave them rocket launchers and stuff, and they arrested all them brothers for nothing because they didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? Well, those are the guys that really, you know, showed me the ropes when I first went to the feds.
All right. So, hey, Frederick, hopefully that answered your question, brother. And again, man, we appreciate you always in the chats, man, and looking out like you do, man. We appreciate that and thank you. All right. Okay, so one of the young kings, man, hit you with he wanted to know this. Did Big Hoov know my uncle, Big Terry Godot?
Yeah, Terry Godot, Michael Godot, I know Terry Godot.
All right.
He was a Van Ayers boy.
Yeah.
I went to Centennial. He went to Centennial with me.
All right. Well, you answered the young one. This is one of the brothers from the community, man. He's doing well. On a positive tip, man. This brother right here, man, that just asked you that question, Big Hoov. Solid brother. Solid young brother, man.
Yeah, if you know Terry Godot, you're gonna know Swig, Connie, and all them too. You know, so yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Okay, Wild Bunch, Lemon Deuce Hoover. Did you know R.I.P. Chipmunk from A. Trey Hoover? Yeah.
I know Chipmunk too.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Ain't that something? All right, who's Jay, man? Hey, Jay, man. He say just clicking, man. He sent some love, man. Hey, man, respect to you as well, brother. Respect to you as well. Thank you for that. We appreciate that, man.
AJ?
Huh?
Did he say AJ?
No. This is the brother's name is Jay. That's all I got. You know, in the chat. You know, his alphabet J, but he sent some love, man. And I was just, thanking him for that, man. Appreciate you for it, man. I hope you subscribe, man. You like, you share, and keep commenting, man. If this is some solid shit, you like what we putting out there, man, share that with people, all right? Get them to come on with you, man. Yeah. Benny White said, I lived in the 40s. The big homies were Hoover Groover. They were known for jacking people's leather jackets. Was too young to really know them. I'm 66. So that's what Benny White was saying right now, Big Hoov. He said, I repeat it, I lived in the 40s. The big homies were Hoover Groover. They were known for jacking people's leather jackets. I was too young to really know them. I'm 66. So I guess he's making a statement and claim, he's alleging that there were some guys called themselves a Hoover Grooves, and they were known for jacking leather pieces.
Well, check this out, then. If that's the case, every Crip in Los Angeles is a Hoover Groove.
Because they was jacking for leather jackets. Yeah.
My first time going to the camp center over a jacket.
Wow.
So, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
You went to camp over a leather piece.
Yeah.
Wait, was it waist length?
Yeah. Double breasted that.
Double breasted too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Florence and Manchester. Florence and Vermont.
Yeah. Right? All right. And there's something else I wanted to say. And go ahead, Hoov. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. Before I got to the house, they pulled me over. But I gave the homie the hat. And like a damn fool, they take me to Southwest. And the homie come down there with the hat on, talking about trying to get me out, and they arrested his ass.
hey, but that's what shit kids did, though. You know what I mean? I'm finna go help the homie get out. Not thinking.
Yeah, that yellow coat, that's what people associate Crips with leather coats. That's that's off the top. That's what the first rumor was. Crips take leather coats. So.
All right. So in response to the Hoover Groover thing, like I said, I talked to Joe, I talked to TS, the G's, what I'm saying, also about this Hoover Groover thing. And they were very adamant about if there was such a thing as Hoover Groovers, the Hoover Crips didn't come from them, And
like this out.
Yeah.
If they took coats back there, anybody doing anything at that era of time that was about their business, they were very susceptible. Not a wind up in Y8.
Yeah. Period, point blank, right?
That's one reason we probably didn't see them.
Yeah.
They didn't get busted. So every city in Los Angeles went to YA or juvenile hall.
So they played out quick the whole game and went to jail over a leather piece. Hey, man.
I got a little homeboy, I love him. And he came to the county jail talking about Playboy. I don't know nothing about Playboy, and I had to whoop him up. You know what I'm saying? Love him to death.
Yeah.
That's my best homie. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I didn't dog him out or nothing like that. He talk about it today, right?
Yeah.
He stepped through the crowd, talking about, yeah, man. I said, where you from? Playboy. I don't know nothing about no damn Playboy.
All right, yeah. And what was this? That back in the 70s?
No, that's about 79.
All right.
In 4800.
Okay. Well, I grew up with some of them brothers, and I know you're talking about now, and them some solid cats over there as well.
Yeah,
and I know you don't mean nothing by it. You just telling the story, sharing an experience. So yeah. Don't take nothing from that, people. Don't take nothing from that.
They can go on YouTube and they can see who talking and who said it.
Yeah.
I heard somebody talking about me on the internet, right? And everybody know him. He's a Playboy. Good dude. He's preaching now.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Yeah, and I got cousins from Playboy. I know everybody. That's one thing about me. I ain't having no controversy with nobody.
That's right. There you go. I'm with you on that. Yeah. Them days long gone, man. Yeah.
So that's what it is. I'm not with nothing that other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Hey, so hey, Hoov, Haney asks, Big Hoov, do you remember the shack on the 4?
No, I don't remember no shack on the 4.
Yeah, that's from Haney, man.
I don't. The shack on the 4. If it was a shack on the 4, I was going to clubs. They must have been going to the park. You see what I'm saying? Because they had to be young enough to go to the shack. But I was already old. I was already, I wasn't gangbanging at no 1 or 2 years old. I was starting in 68, 69.
Right, got you. Man. Man, history. Yeah.
So then and I moved a lot, moved around in LA. So, like bring my name up, they're gonna see everybody. I went to concert, I've been everywhere, man. I'm rolling around the city and stuff,
All right. I got another one for you. Someone want to know, they ask how much time the big Hoov do behind the walls? And did he ever run into Raymond Washington?
You got my wife laughing now, right? Okay, if they know anything about B numbers, right?
Right.
Me and Raymond
B
was in
numbers
church
is old.
together.
Older than C numbers. Shit.
Well, like that triple digits.
Yeah.
Stuff that. But yeah, we was in church together way back, in the 70s. He should have been there around 72, 74, 33, around in there. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you can pull up the records and stuff. We both got B numbers. Mine's B4329.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that tattooed on a bunch of clothes and start selling them. My B number. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I knew Raymond.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Everybody knew Raymond.
That's right.
You know.
Frederick Hazaby is back in the comments. He got the Libyan flag up, brother. So he's from Libya. The African continent. All right now. Well, are you in Libya watching the show, bro? That's what I like to know. Whoo-wee. But if not, it's cool. It's cool. Still represent. So Big Red, man, he's in the comments and now. All right. See, I try to keep it, I keep it clean, man. Big Red asking me a question. OG pushing peace with all brothers. Could you ever sit? Well, I don't know if this is directed towards me or you or both of us, Hoov. He said, OG pushing peace with all brothers. Could you ever sit with someone like Crip Mac and crack old English? You go first.
If you don't know nothing about the culture, man, you think we all Crip Mac.
Yeah, real shit. Huh?
I'm probably talking right now. Some people might think I'm Crip Mac.
The way you talk.
Seriously. I understood the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And believe me, if you ever see him in this area when he get out, when he get back out, watch the difference.
Right, the change, the growth.
The change.
Yeah.
That's just like Charleston White.
Yeah.
When he first come on the scene, everybody, that motherfucker, this, that. And he switched. That man is very intelligent later.
Oh, he is. Now he speaking good. He say a lot of shit people don't like, but there's nothing wrong about what he say if you really listen to what he's saying.
Right. But see, when he first come on the scene, he sound worse than the Crip Mac. He talking about everybody. You know what I'm saying? But look how, when they see that intellectual side, people start thinking, that nigga ain't down what people think.
Yeah, he can articulate a point real well.
He might have one eye, but he got three in the head. He got knowledge.
He got that eye right there in the middle that means something.
Right. Right.
Yeah, he can articulate a point real well.
I would pick it with him because if I ran by him, we would have to kick it, man, because I understand him. It wouldn't be no problem. I used to drink beer. I was growing up, I was at Silver Satin. Living with the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? It ain't 800.
Right.
So,
we did all that.
Anymore. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do nothing no more. So I would have a beer with him.
There you go.
I would kick it with him. And then the first thing I would tell him, you need to take that switch and put it up because the feds ain't playing when they bust you with it. I would tell him some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They walking around with them type, and they just giving them to people, and then they getting busted and getting all that time over. So, that's what I would have told him. He would save himself some problems. And and his tattoos was his tattoos and everything like that.
Yeah.
Everybody understand, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But I tell you this, I have been with places where, people that made people cut that shit off too.
Yeah. With a razor blade real quick.
That's what he would have to find out later.
Yeah. Real quick. So I got another one for you. And I'm gonna answer this after you. Sean Sessions asks, did you know did Big Hoov know his aunt BB from 11 Deuce Hoover?
Nah, I heard of her.
Yeah. Okay, well, I went to school with BB and Casper. We went to Charles Drew together back in the day. We was going to school with the Kitchens, man, some Mo brothers and shit from everywhere, man. 9 Deuce Bishops, some 8-9 family blood. We man shit, but I went to school with BB and Casper back in the day, Charles Drew, man. We used to hang in the back in the gym, and just this school a lot, you know what I'm saying, that type of thing, man. But yeah, that was the homeboy, rest in peace, and BB is the homegirl, man. Okay. Yeah, man. So Chip say he remember the shack on the floor. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I know it was a shack on the floor because all of you tell me about it. But I was too old.
You were too old. Yeah, shit.
The shack. Your mom would have came out and seen me and then looked at me. Man, she probably called the police on me or something.
Like what your grown ass doing? Hit all these kids.
So let the guy know that's what I was saying. Not disrespect, because I know it was a shack shit. I know it came out the shack. We stepped out the push every day,
So I got another one for you. So Sean Sessions want to know. Here's his question: how do the big homie feel about the Hoover movement now, today?
Well, we talking about it now.
Yeah.
We talking about it now, man. I'm feeling that there's got to be some ethics. I mean, some morals and principles, and, integrity and stuff like that pushing. We got enough of this. I'm down type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we know how that work out. Shit, down straight to the penitentiary or the graveyard, and that's everybody. But I will say this, and I'm saying this, Chris Bloods and everybody else gang bangers. Every nigga that I know on death row, his own homie put him there.
Whoa. Whoa.
To tell you that.
That's deep.
Get the rest of it out.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep, bro.
Don't know, I don't know everybody I know. Was on death row. So but that's banging.
That's banging. That's what they say, huh? So I got another one for you, Hooves. They wanted to know, did OG Hoov know any Manchester Park boys?
No. I thought everybody went to Manchester, was related. You know what I'm saying? So that was a Hoover set.
Yeah.
So, I done heard of Manchester boys like Figaro boys,
all them.
All that stuff.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
But, and I used to hear about when they came Bonzella boys, they say Crips now. So we didn't hear a lot about the boys there, but Manchester Park, back in the day, everybody knew that was a Hoover Park.
Everybody, real spit.
So,
real spit.
Although we went anywhere we want park we want to go to, but since that was in the hood, that's what that was.
Yeah, I was going to Manchester Park before I was going to Manchester Park before I was a Hoover, man. Before I knew anything about Hoover. That is crazy. I got another one for you. Well, first off, Wild Bunch, Lemon Deuce Hoover. Yeah, bro, HIP to Jap 3, man, for sure. Also, man, we want to send our condolences, man, our love, man, to the homie Tiny D, man. Rest in peace, man. I didn't want to be remiss, neglect not mentioning that, man. One of the homies lost his life, man, recently, man. Tiny D. Our condolences to his family, man. Hopefully they'll be able to recover from that loss. Yeah, sad thing, man. Brothers, man. All right, Benny White.
The saddest thing about it, though?
What's that?
There's gonna be more niggas at his funeral than the niggas when he alive.
Wait, say it again, Who? Say that one more time, please.
That's why I say it's very important for to love each other, kick each other, man, and push these ethics outside. You look at these funerals, there be more niggas at the funeral than there be you at your house.
Hello.
Every day.
Hello.
Your rent need do and everything else. You gonna see a nigga left one or two, not all of them.
Yeah.
But you gonna see more niggas at a funeral than you see at a nigga birthday or whatever.
That's true, bro. That's true.
So
yeah, that's true.
But again, that's banging.
That's banging. Benny White said, they were near Exposition Park. Didn't last. One lived on my street. He went to jail. Never heard from him again. I guess he's talking about the so-called Hoover Groovers. All right, Benny White. Thanks for that, man. Thanks for that. Wild Bunch is asked. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Wild. Yeah, that's crazy because I remember we used to be able to look up the street, and we would walk down there, man. We would walk to the Coliseum. It was nothing. It was nothing.
I built me a go-kart and was going down there.
Yeah, we'd hop on a skateboard or something too back in the day, like it wasn't nothing. Shit. I got a question right here for me. Wild Bunch 11 Deuce Hoover. He has a question for me saying, Bub, would you do an interview with No Jumper? And how do you feel about Crip Mac with the set whacked out? Well, first and foremost, no, I wouldn't do an interview with No Jumper, and I wouldn't even play with that. I think there are a couple of things, man, and I'm gonna keep it short and respectful, man, in spite of. I think, man, the thing with the young brother, man, is just my opinion, a ploy, a act, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because a lot of dudes say a lot about killing and death. Ain't gonna kill none and let none die, homie. You know what I mean? So why he did that? Why whatever, man. He got his reason. Only he really know. But hopefully, like the whole OG homie just said, man. Hopefully, he's in there, man. He's getting some knowledge. He's getting some understanding, man. And hopefully when he come home, man, he have a different perspective.
We all do.
So, how I feel about him, that don't matter, bro. That don't matter. You know what I mean? That don't matter, man. What we got? Frederick back. Okay, he was born and raised from the west side of Chicago, but the Moors. So he's part of the Moors. Big Hoov was locked up with. Wait, hold on. I read that wrong. I apologize for that, Frederick. Hold on right quick. So Frederick Hadsby said, I'm born and raised from the west side of Chicago, but the Moors, Big Hoov was connected allegedly to Libya. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I'm telling my Muslim, my boy's name is Hoover Bay. Tell him that.
Yeah, I'm sure he heard you because he in the comments. He loving it.
Bay.
Yeah.
You know anything about the bays and hills? Each one of those has attributes.
All right.
They observate you. Like if you was a Moor, you would be a bay, Bubba.
I would be a bay.
You would be a bay.
That would be BEY, right?
Yeah, bay.
Yeah, got you.
Attributes that they give you. Put on, and you can use that name legally because it's a Moor sign.
Right.
But the difference is, bays are like governors, like to discuss stuff and things of that nature, right? Eel. Now I'm not saying eels don't like to discuss stuff, sir, but eels would be like Stanley. Stanley, you see how Stanley Carrot is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he would be an eel.
Okay, got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So that's how we do things. A lot. Who else would? Like Tony, he would be an eel.
Got you. Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
That
makes sense, especially for Tony, though.
Yeah, and they're really not religion. They just teach you nationality, really.
Got you. Yeah. And that's something we looked into, my wife and I, the Bay and the Ill, having self-sovereignty and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we dab into that, man. I'm not gonna say too much about it, but yeah, that's something we're into. But
well, I done been everything, but like Moors, I respect the Moors because they teach nationality, man. They really do. They really, when you come up out of there, you're gonna know some history.
Right.
Get some weight.
Right.
Because before this internet thing started coming around, where you can get all the knowledge, it wasn't like that. When the Moors was giving the knowledge up, but it wasn't on the internet. They were just doing research and stuff like that. But that's another avenue. But like I say, they gave me a structure, man.
There you go. All right. I got a question for you right quick. And this question is from, the young one again, young King, man. He asked Big Hoov, what Hoover said started it all?
Well, see, there we go.
Yeah.
We're not You know, who I don't want to, man, look, answering a question like that, we not on that type of page, man. I don't give a damn about who started nothing.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because I put it like this. Let him know, like, if he came to a place where there's 15 people from all different sets, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're forcing ethics, and he come up in there out of ethics. Who don't give a damn about what set you was from? You're out of ethics right now.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff, the start stuff. You don't want to start anything. You want to stay in ethics. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about what I'm going to try to glorify a set. We all have been from different places, and it's called bunch of damage. All of us have. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to get into a debate about, well, I was first, I was second.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You don't say that when you know you got to go in that courtroom and you're going to get a life sentence. You want to be the last one in the courtroom.
You don't want to be first.
Get that life sentence. Bet you that.
And that's how I felt. I was trying to fight that life sentence. I was like, I hope they miss my name or lose my name. I sleep in that motherfucker tonight. Just don't call me in there today. Yeah. So
let him know this too, man. You know, it's not cool to be talking about you from any type of organization, period, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't know if you know it about, but, you know, just being a gang member, I think that it's acted up to 15 years. It used to be 10.
Mm-hmm.
Just from being a gang member.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, and it's hard to prove. You know, it's hard to prove. You know.
But it won't stop them from trying.
Well, yeah, but if it come out your mouth.
There it is, huh?
You know, because when I went to the feds, right, I'm way up in Lewisburg, back east far as you can go, and they gonna try to tell me I can't go down to a minimum because I was a gang member. I said, how you gonna tell me about what kind of gang I'm from way up here in New York, damn near? You know, so I took them to court. So they have to prove how I got put on, what was the ritual, you know, like the mafia. The mafia used to say, hey, that's what the feds made up. Ain't nobody no mafia until they seen a nigga get put on. Then they knew it was one. See, so now it's not cool to be even discussing, man. You know.
All right. That is there.
Yeah, because they're going to use it against you. You know.
I got a question for you. Somebody want to know, did you know Craig Munson?
Yeah, I know him and his brother. They're the one that died. I got story. Craig, you know, Craig just had respect. I mean, you know, I got a story about him though. I was a horseman years ago, and the security guard that busted me in horseman junior high school. I got rid of my little, got stuff, and Craig came to the gate and told the police if he don't let me go, the security, he's gonna jump over the goddamn fence, right? And they let me out the fence. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, so he been on the east side a long time. And I was in the pen. He was in the pen too before I was too. But yeah, Craig got a lot of respect though.
Yeah. I've heard that said as well, man. Yeah.
Heard but you know how people do. They're gonna talk about niggas that they don't like. So, everybody got another person talking about it. You just gotta be careful, man, because the guy that's telling you the story might be the one you don't want to believe. You're getting it from the wrong source. You know what I mean? But yeah, I know it.
Hey, Kenny Adams, man, we got Big Hoov on the get out, man. He's been with us, man. Shoot, damn near 2 hours.
Yeah.
Man, and I appreciate your time, big bro. I really do.
Like I say, there's a reason, man. Like I say, ain't nothing, no incidents.
Man.
But I'm still gonna call you and tell you about your brother, man.
Man, ain't that something, man?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And my cousin told me to tell you to call him too. GD. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got I'll call you after this. I'll get that number because I'm gonna call it. That's my boy right there.
Yeah.
That's my boy. I was just if you could recall, I was just mentioning Kenny Ray's homeboy. Was on the yard when I was doing the life sentence. Smooth dude, cool cat.
Yeah, him and Debo. I know Debo.
Yep, Debo too. Rest in peace. Yep.
Yeah. They got out alive together, man.
Man.
I know the nigga that did it too. Right, everybody know him. He got time for it, but
yeah,
they see, I got out in what, 98,
mm-hmm.
and I was over there with him.
Yeah,
you know, I was right over there with him, man.
98, man. Yeah, man.
I got 98, man. And you know, my little cousin, they all gangbangs and everything. And when they said weirdo, I ain't never known about weirdo girls, but you know,
right.
And it was my cousins, you know. So I had cousins in Center Park too. So,
yeah.
I got to know all of them. Yeah. And it was cool though.
Yeah, man.
They had a club over there called the Sugar Boogie Lounge. I think I was the only Hoov up in the Sugar Boogie Lounge.
The Sugar Boogie Lounge. That's some old shit for real.
Yeah, they know what the time when they listening. They know about the Sugar Boogie Lounge.
I used to the Weirdos when I first met them. Well, you know, I was surprised to find out my little brother was gangbanging. Yeah. You know, I come home one night and he was there with a bunch of little guys. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Da 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 da. And you know, we chopping up, and I heard one of the guys, he was talking to another guy. He said, "Yeah, blood." I said, "Where y'all from?" You know, I wasn't tripping because it's my brother. They with him, so you know, it's all good. And we from Weirdos, you know. I'm like, Weirdos? What the hell is that? You know, what the hell? They said, we in Inglewood, and I was like, all right, man. And so I looked at Kenny Ray, and I said, "You a weirdo?" He was like, "Yeah, bro." I'm like, I said, "All right, man, these your boys, man." He's like, "Yeah, man." I said, "All right, man, y'all take care of each other, you know." And that started a relationship with me and them. Chucky, Chuck, Big Wad, rest in peace. I met a brother Bolo, but I think little Bolo was from Bounty Hunters, but he hung with him. Bolo, he was from Weirdos too.
Yeah, Bolo.
Yeah, Pops, my boy, man. You know, messing with Pops, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, man. Matter of fact, I used to let him come and, you know, make money, you know, on the set, you know what I mean? Come and get down, man, and sit with the, you know, the young homies, the babies. Now y'all share the time, man. I'll see y'all later. And it was all love and respect, you know. Take him out of town with me the whole nine, man.
Well, yeah, they you know, there's a lot of Hoovers living over there in that little hood with them though. You know, they respected those over there and stuff.
We grew up over there as well though, Hoov. We grew up in Inglewood. Well, I get out of camp and mom's living in Inglewood. Yeah. So it wasn't that much I could do about that, you know what I mean? Shit, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, he was a factor, man. They loved him, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
but
man.
He went for real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They big homie, man. They hurt him. They lost him, you know.
Really man. That was a sad thing, man. And I try to share this with brothers, and you know, this is why, you know, I understand loss. You know what I mean? I understand it, man. I mean, to my core. You know, I raised that guy, man. You know, I raised him, man. Shit, from a babe. You know, mom's, you know, birthed him, and you know, and I had to raise him because she had to go to work. I would leave school. I was going to Woodcrest Elementary. I would leave Woodcrest Elementary every day at 12 noon to go home, change him, feed him, and everything else. You know what I mean? Yeah, I taught him how to walk, talk, the whole nine, potty, everything. But yeah. You know,
all right, my wife done shook her fist at me.
Oh, there we go.
No more questions.
There we go. You know, hey, man. Hey, look.
I haven't really got started, but you know, next time I'll be on there with you and stuff. You know, I won't give you the history where I was born and raised, all that stuff.
There you go. So, yeah, that'd be a good conversation to have. Hope we can have that soon too. I'll call you though for sure.
You know, I really do.
All right, I appreciate knowing that from you. One love, OG. All right, bro. All right, thank you. Man, that was a gem, people. That was a gem. That, like I said, that was Providence, man. I'm not even religious, but that was some other power, man. About that to get down, man. You know, and he and I have been talking for some time now about the show, him coming on, and not that I was procrastinating and shit, but you know, most of the time and some of the time, you know, I don't deal with time accordingly when it comes to, you know what I mean, putting this thing together and, you know, setting up, you know, interviews, you know, dates and schedules and shit. But man, again, you know, I appreciate him coming on the show, and I hope you guys did as well. Look, man, Man, hey, all right. I see you, Roger Frazier. Much respect, bro. Thank you. Yeah, man. Look, it's been a pleasure, you guys. I want to say, man, it's not every day I could. And that conversation was really that was beautiful, man. It was priceless, to say the least, man. 4 things I want to leave you guys with, and when we come back on to Get Down Sunday, hopefully we can have these discussions. Black culture, history, excuse me, civilization, and identity. They go hand in foot, man. You know, can't have one without the other. Until then, man, I want you people to know, man, you know, it's about us. It's about us, man, because we all we got. Man. We got to start learning how to support one another, man. You know, and how to give each other passes, man, when we know somebody in the wrong, you know. So think about that, man. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. Power is in the people, man. You have been, you are, and you will be under the groove, man. One love, people. One love. Man, he called. Man, I appreciate that. That's some good stuff, man.
Yeah,